Underway tonight for Heidi Planck, a mother from West LA who disappeared weeks ago. Tonight, friends and loved ones are gathering to raise awareness about this case. And CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live in downtown LA where that vigil is underway. Jeff.
And that vigil is set to start in just a few minutes. Let me go ahead and step aside so you can get a better look at it. Many of the attendees here say that they didn't even know each other before their friend's disappearance. Now they're having to lean on each other to keep the faith. Tonight, friends continue to canvass downtown LA with flyers of 39-year-old Heidi Planck, who's been missing for 3 weeks. They're hoping to raise more awareness with a vigil.
To make sure that, her story stays out there and people don't forget about her, because we're out here every single day.
It's been a grueling 3 weeks. We've literally been on the streets every single night, every single day, hanging flyers, talking to local people, business owners, residents, dog walkers, trying to gain any sort of information about where our friend might be.
The single mom was last seen on security camera leaving her home in the Palms area on October 17th. Hours later, her dog was found at this apartment complex at the corner of Hope and 12th Streets.
Not only was it because her dog was found on the 29th floor of this building, but it's also because the community around here just genuinely cares. They've been so helpful and so kind.
Friends say business owners have allowed them to post their flyers. The hope is to eventually bring Planck home to her 10-year-old son.
Heidi is missing. She's well loved, severely missed. She has a son that misses her. She has a friend. She has friends and family that miss her and just want her home safe.
And at this point, the LAPD is confirming it is investigating this case, but so far detectives are not sharing details of their investigation. We are live in downtown Los Angeles. Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you. Glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. If you're in here, please make sure to hit the like button if you haven't already, because I do want to get this algorithm going to get awareness out there for the sake of Heidi's loved ones. Now, Heidi went missing on, I'm not going to get into the timeline just yet, but I'm going to. But she went missing on October 17th. Well, that was the last time she was seen. She was reported missing on the 20th. Now, I think we can all guess as to why nobody has been talking about this case. And everyone, including myself, was busy talking about Heidi Petito. And I mean, the whole world was talking about Heidi Petito. So I can just imagine how frustrating that must have been for this family. And it's not that we all shouldn't have been talking about Heidi Petito. It's that we should have been talking about her too. We should be talking about anybody that goes missing. And this is a mother of I believe her son is 10 years old. And yeah, I see people are saying Gabby. Exactly. You guys guessed it right. Everyone was talking about Gabby Petito. Everybody was thinking about Gabby Petito. But did I say Heidi Petito? No. Did I? No, Gabby Petito. So I apologize for that. I really want to get a ball rolling on this here, because she's been missing for a while now. she's been missing for a while now, and there's a lot of strange details to this case that makes that leaves a lot of room for speculation. Did I say it 3 times? I'm sorry about that. I apologize. It's been a long day. So Now I'm just gonna knock this out real quick. I went live earlier today. I did an afternoon live discussing Don and Candace Wells. And these are the parents, as we all know, of Summer Wells, who went missing. And so there's a follow-up to that. So for those of you that were in my chat while I was doing that live stream, and you heard that absolute train wreck dumpster fire. I mean, it was a train wreck that the cargo was dumpsters that were on fire. That's what that was. And this happened today.
It's been 1 week since Donald Wells was rearrested in court following his DUI arrest last weekend. Today, he spoke with News Channel 11 for the first time since. He told us he has obtained a lawyer and he could not speak about what happened. And although the family's website, findsummerwells.com, was created in conjunction with the Wells family official YouTube channel, he addressed the negativity surrounding other YouTube content creators and some of his appearances on different videos and channels.
I have to stay off the YouTube thing. I'll be very careful about if I do anything on YouTube from now on, because, you know, I have lost control. I've done stupid things, and for that I apologize. I'm just trying to be right, trying to focus on our church and the things that our family, you know, that we so much enjoyed together.
This Thursday, we'll have in-depth coverage throughout the day about the search for Summer Wells. Her parents will be appearing on the Dr. Phil show that day on News Channel 11.
And that's all that is. But I find that interesting. Okay, I find that little news clip interesting because although they did bring up the fact that you know, he was on YouTube channels or whatever, this is the only thing. I mean, who knows how long they talked to him, but that's the one thing that they focused on. And you know, they were talking about the live stream that I that I was playing today. You know, that's what they were referring to. You know, that's what he was referring to. And yeah, right. I'm going to get to that, Nicole. I'm going to get to that. I can't help. Listen, I empathize with this guy. I do. I honestly do. But I can't help but laugh at the things that this guy chooses to say sometimes. It's just, it blows my mind. You know, that's just him having a cringe moment after having too much to drink, and which I've had those myself. I'm no I'm nobody to throw stones, but I wonder why. Now I wonder why. Hey, what's up, Roman? Haven't seen you in a while. I wonder why this channel wasn't mentioned. I wonder why what took place on that channel wasn't mentioned during that live stream. Because, I mean, that's pretty, you know, that's... So my speculation is this, okay? Either reputable news sources don't care anything about YouTube. They don't care anything about it other than to use it to promote their own news clips. But I started thinking, yeah, that's a possibility. But I wonder if it's actually. I wonder if it's actually that this news source is fully aware of what took place, and by covering it, it would have been considered trash television. I mean, I just wonder. I wonder if maybe they didn't bother with that because it holds absolutely no relevance to Summer's disappearance and finding her. I wonder. I just wonder. That's all. I just thought that was interesting. But moving on to Heidi Planck. So now forgive me because I am very new to this case, as many of you are. So Planck she is 38 years old. She's a California mom. I believe she lives in the Los Angeles area. She was reported missing on October 20th, 2021. And according to her LinkedIn profile, she currently works as a controller and executive assistant at Camden Capital Partners. She was last seen on October 17th looking antsy, quote unquote, at her son's football game, according to her ex-husband. She is described as 5'2", 102 pounds, white woman with blonde hair and blue eyes who was last seen wearing jeans and a gray sweater. And I have to point out, guys, there's only 46 of you guys in here right now. And I want you guys to acknowledge, there's 47 now. I want you guys to acknowledge that you can come to the Glarer, exclusively to the Glarer, to disprove the theory of missing white girl syndrome. Because, so you're welcome. You're welcome. Anyway, moving on. Anyone with information is urged to call the Los Angeles Police Department Missing Persons Unit at 213-996-1800 or the LAPD 1-877-LAPD 24/7. So on the same day that she was reported missing, she was captured on security footage, leaving her home with her dog in her gray 2017 Range Rover with the California license plate U840XO. Now, the dog was later found 12 miles away from her house in Downey, California, on the 28th floor of a high-rise building in downtown LA. Now, her car is still missing, but during a wellness check, the authorities, they found her laptop and her phone were still at home. So whenever that happens, guys, big red flag. Big red flag. When the phone is still there, the car's gone, but the phone is at home and the laptop. Now, I don't take my laptop with me everywhere, but she probably needs her laptop for work. I don't know. But her phone, yeah, that's always a massive red flag. Now, her ex-husband, which I'm assuming is her son's father, he says that she had an argument with the man that she's been dating in the week before her disappearance. But he insists that her new boyfriend is a quote unquote great guy. It remains unclear if there are any suspects in her disappearance, but this is where it gets really interesting, guys. Her boss is currently being charged in a $43 million fraud case. So right there, also big red flag. Now, that may not have anything to do with anything. It may not have anything to do with anything, but that's fair. I mean, guys, if she had any information on that or had some sort of disagreement with him or or both, especially if both, then guys, that's motive. I mean, let's just face it, that's motive. And I'm not outright accusing this guy of anything. I'm just saying, in terms of looking at the facts of what we know about this case so far, that can absolutely be considered motive. And that is only if she was aware of everything that was going on. I mean, every job I've ever had, I didn't know everything my bosses were doing. So, I mean, I don't know. But well, that's your ex. But the thing is here's another strange fact here. And I don't know how strange it is, but her ex-husband, after she's gone missing, he filed for full custody of their son. And filing for full custody of their son, based on the reason that he is desperate to put his son into therapy because he's not dealing with his mom being missing well at all. So this is important. And he was granted. It was granted, which I find kind of strange. I mean, if she's missing, you know what I mean? Why would he be granted custody if they already had joint custody? But it's possible that they never had a custody agreement set in place in the first place. Because usually when two parents never actually go to court and actually settle a custody agreement, well, then you kind of already have joint custody. Both parents have just as many rights over the child, unless it's settled different in court. So, and yeah, he's not coping, supposedly. So he's not dealing well with this at all. So, and if his mother and him are this close, if he's this upset, then it would indicate that she has a great relationship with her son, and her husband or her ex-husband was very adamant. He's been saying all the right things here. He's saying, he's quoted here and saying she's a devoted mother who would never ever leave her son. We have a 10-year-old boy at home for his mom, and we just need to find her. So he's saying all the right things here. Now going and filing for full custody. Now I wonder, that's cause for speculation as well, because I don't know a lot about family law. But I find it interesting that he would be granted this, and his grounds for filing for this would be to put his son into therapy. So I wonder, since she is missing, maybe he needs to have full custody to make a decision of putting him into therapy without her consent. That's what I'm kind of wondering. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know, but I'm thinking that that's probably the case. So it's probably in order to do that. I guess the judge probably just made an on the fly decision here, and just decided what was best for the child. And if by law they have to have both parents consent, unless one parent has full custody, then yes, he's going to have to make choices without her, Cherry. Correct. And maybe in order to do that legally, he needs to actually have full custody. And maybe the judge just made a on the fly decision to grant full custody. And I don't even know the details. Maybe it's a temporary order of custody, just while this is going on. So, but this ex-husband seems to be doing all of the right things that any ex-husband would be doing. They seem to be friends. He saw her at his son's football game. Now, he did say that she seemed quote unquote antsy at the football game. And since she seemed antsy, then there's the argument with the new boyfriend that took place earlier that week. So you know, I don't know. But I mean, so, and when she was reported missing, she was reported missing on October 20th when she failed to pick up her son. But it doesn't specify. I don't see anything that specifies that it was. Yeah, see, it says here on November 1st. Okay, now her ex-husband's name is Jim Wayne, and he appeared on NBC's Dateline. And he revealed that that he suspected something was wrong when she did not pick up their son on October 20th. So on October 20th, she's last seen on the 17th. October 20th is when he reports her missing. So he's the one who reported her missing because she failed to pick up her son. And I don't think it was from school. I think since they had joint custody, that they had a scheduled time for her to pick him up, and she didn't do so. And he found that extremely suspicious. And he worried. So right now I'm not looking at Jim here being in any way, shape, or form suspicious. Based on what we know here, Mr. Jim Wayne, in my eyes, is not someone that we should be looking at as some sort of person of interest in this case. It seems to me like he's the one that's doing everything correctly, and handling this. But what I wonder, there's nothing being said about any texting that may have taken place between the 17th and the 20th. So the way it appears here is that the last time that he had any contact with her at all was on the 17th, because that's the last thing that he mentions. Now, even though he had just seen her, but to go, going on 3 days total for any type of communication, I mean, maybe, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm not going to say that it's suspicious that she didn't have any contact with him in those almost 3 days. I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but maybe she just trusts him with her son so much that she doesn't feel the need to be a helicopter mom when her son's with his father, and figures if there's anything wrong, he'll call, let me know, or text me. But even still, I mean, does that, have you seen his other football shoes? I'm just making stuff up here, just speculating, but things like that, can he have, can he have pizza 2 nights in a row? Is that going to be a problem when I bring him back to you? Blah, blah, blah. This type of communication usually happens with parents with joint custody. Just find it somewhat weird. I don't think it's suspicious. I just find it somewhat unusual is going to be the best way to put it. I find it somewhat unusual that they had no contact via telephone within those days between the 17th and the 20th. Okay, so Okay, see, that makes sense. Okay, because I was wondering. I mean, doesn't she? If she's such a devoted mom, and the son is so devastated, it's probably safe to assume that she would shoot him at least a text saying "Good night, I love you" every night. You know what I mean? Something to that effect. Did you have a good day with your dad today? Blah blah blah. It just um. So, but according to Island Girl's comment here, Jim said it was suspicious as Heidi talked to her son every night. Jim was hoping maybe she'd gone up to see the boyfriend. Okay, so I guess he didn't want to be. I mean, there's no reason to be alarmed when she's. So it sounds like, if this is true, according to this, what Island Girl is saying here, that he started to kind of feel like something was a little hinky, that she hadn't contacted her son. And then on the 20th, when she doesn't show up, is when he's like, okay, something's wrong. When she doesn't show up to pick him up, he's like, okay, now I know something's wrong. So that makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense. And here's something interesting as well. Their son, his birthday was the following week, supposedly, and all he wants to do is spend his birthday with his mom. Jim was quoted saying he was doing okay until he saw a photo of them the other day, and then he just broke down. He told me that he just wanted one more time to talk to her. That hurt. That was really painful. And he goes on to say, what kid wants to spend his birthday without his mom? We're just hoping for a miracle and that she comes home. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this real quick. Give me 1 second. Stupid ads. All right. Now, there was video footage caught by a neighbor's camera. And of her leaving with her dog on the 17th. Now, I'm not sure what time this video footage was taken in the day, but we're going to go ahead and look at this.
Thirty-nine-year-old Heidi Planck disappeared 2 weeks ago. Security footage from October 17th shows her leaving her West Los Angeles home with her dog. Planck went to Downey to watch her 10-year-old son play football, but her ex-husband says she left the game early.
Okay, so there's that.
This is Lisa, a 49-year-old mother who completely eliminated
again, guys, we are speculating here. Hold on a second. Now, it's weird stuff here because sorry, I got to find more stuff on this because there's the not having a phone, right? Now her vehicle is still missing. Vehicle's gone. Phone's found in the house. No, the dog is not missing. The dog was found like 12 miles away, just roaming around a building. So bear with me here, guys. Now, there is the boss with the $43 million fraud thing that's hanging over his head right now. That's one thing. But that's just this one thing. Let's look at something else. Now, although Jim says that she would never ever leave her son, quote unquote, she would never ever leave her son. And she even went to the football game, but she seemed antsy, right? She's seen leaving the house. I don't know what's going on. She's got a drink in her hand. Could just be coffee, could be anything. I don't know if she's a drinker. I don't know what kind of habits she has. We don't know anything like this, right? So, she has a fight with the boyfriend. She has an argument with the boyfriend. She seems antsy at the football game. Vehicle's gone, but phone and laptop are found in the house. Now, the FBI like raided the house. Or was it the LAPD? I'm not sure. But the house was the house was raided, basically. Because it was basically a wellness check type thing. So if that happens, right? If they raid the house, because that's the word that I heard used to describe that. Usually when that happens, there's probably some sort of danger suspected happening at that house. So it was her house that they busted into, pretty much. Now, I don't know if that's really what happened. Like I said, I just heard the word raided. So, but if that's the case, then it's safe to assume that there was probably a risk of danger of some way, shape, or form. But who would they suspect at her house that would be dangerous besides her to herself? But it's not the first time that we've heard of someone disappearing purposely and with the intention of doing something harmful to themselves, even though they have a network of friends and they're loved and they love everybody else. There is a thing called mental illness, people. And we don't know if she has a history of mental illness or not. I don't know if Jim has told any news media outlets whether or not she's had a history of mental illness. So I mean, it's there's a lot to consider here, guys. There's a lot to consider. I just I don't know. I simply don't know. And since law enforcement is not sharing anything, they're not sharing any information. Now, if she does have a history of mental illness, it seems like that would be something that would be on the missing persons poster, right? If they consider her to be a danger to herself, they would say most times there's on these missing persons posters that there's a part on there that says she has a history of certain mental illness and we're afraid that something might happen to her. So I'm not going to jump into that just yet. I'm not going to jump into that conclusion. I'm not going to jump into that, even really touch on that theory of whether or not, but it's still a possibility, guys. It's still absolutely a possibility. But now let's talk about the boss with the $43 million fraud thing. $43 million is a lot of money. $43 million is a lot of money. And $43 million is plenty of money to not really think of hiring a professional to take care of something like this. It's pretty affordable. So I mean, I've seen cases where somebody is offered, there's an undercover person acting as a hitman, and a husband or wife will say, will ask how much, and then they'll usually quote something around anywhere between $10,000 to $50,000. And I remember always watching these and going, man, that's really cheap, considering, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's way too rich for my blood for anything, but but I mean, for me to even consider taking the risk of going to prison for the rest of my life, I need to be okay for the rest of my life. I need to be taken care of financially for the rest of my life. If I'm putting myself at that kind of risk and losing my freedom forever, possibly the death penalty wherever I am, you're gonna have to pay me more than 10 grand. You know what I mean? You're gonna have to pay me a lot more than 50 grand, So I don't know, but it also makes sense that a professional cleaner, as it's used in the movies, probably, does this often. And, I got 5 hits to do this week, 5 hits to do this week. And at 10,000 a pop, that's $50,000. That's $50,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? Well, I don't have a price. I can't. Yeah, there's no way I could ever do that. There's no way I could ever do that. But right, exactly. See, that's what I'm saying too. When there's that much money involved, anything is possible. In I wonder if, but what did they do? I mean, wouldn't the security cameras have shown up? Does she have a back door, easy access through the back where the cameras wouldn't pick her up? Do the neighbors not have cameras in the back of their house? So, I mean, what are we looking at here? So if all we're seeing is her just getting into her car with her dog, because why would she take the dog with her? And why would she take the dog with her if she's going to do something to herself? Why would she take the dog with her? And go out of her way to leave it in a high-rise building 12 miles away, just roaming around the halls. So that's really, 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 really suspicious. But if she left her phone and laptop at home, but the car is missing, was somebody waiting in the back of the car and said, "Hey, drive"? But she would have had her phone with her. That's a possibility too. I feel like it would be an unlikelihood, but I mean, by now, wouldn't she have contacted her ex-husband in some way, shape, or form and said, "Hey, listen, this is what's going on, and I can't put you or our son at risk, so that's why I'm out." I mean, dude, I've seen so many crazy movies. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, maybe she didn't want to be tracked. Maybe she was being told, hey, if you don't show up with whatever proof you have on me, if you don't show up with this and don't bring your phone, we're going to get your son. That's a possibility too. I mean, but all of this sounds so, movie of the week. You know what I mean? Like, right. It's just weird that because if security footage didn't catch anybody going into the home and taking her out of the home, then yeah, super far-fetched. I realize that. But it makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. Right. That's, you know what I mean? Like, maybe she was involved. Maybe she did some of the work for him in order to do it, and she had too much information. And this guy was afraid that she was going to turn evidence against him. I mean, like I said, that's a motive, man. Maybe she wouldn't have gone to the cops. Maybe it just wasn't worth it to her. And like I said, maybe she, like somebody just said that, maybe like Jody just said, maybe she could have been involved, That action movie would never work because it's been done a million times, Cherry. It's been done a million times. Let's look at this. Let's find out. I'm going to find the newest stuff that I can find on this. All right. The dog was found later the same day as when the footage was captured. And Jim describes his ex-wife as a great worker and a great mom. And we have totally different parenting styles. I'm a very strict dad. This is not my first rodeo. I've got 2 older kids. Okay. Our son is Heidi's only child, and she's a bit more relaxed in her parenting, he says. We were married for a couple of years, but had been with each other for 4 years. We divorced 9 years ago. Our son is distraught. He is very close with his mom. We are doing everything we can to protect him. Said she appeared edgy and antsy edgy and angsty at the Suns football game. She just seemed antsy. She was sitting over here, then sitting over there, and then she was walking over there. It seemed like she was a little antsy. Most people go to the football game and find a seat and they just sit down and they stay there, he's saying. She was walking around and then she was sitting over here and then she was sitting over there. then she kind of came over to the side that we were sitting on. I sat on the opposite side because it was sunny on that side and I felt a little cold. It was like when somebody is not comfortable and not calm, so they're kind of like moving from place to place, you know? So oh man, I hate to laugh, but that's actually pretty funny. Yeah. Yeah, these days somebody doesn't have their phone, they probably don't know what to do with themselves. You know, I mean, maybe actually watching the football game never occurred to her because she's not interested in football, but she wants to be there to be supportive for her son. But why didn't she go over to him and say hello? You know what I mean? He's talking like I saw her there and she was just kind of going over here and going over there, and you know what I mean? No, I'm actually getting to that right now, Island Girl. Well, not right now, but I'm getting to that. All right, so let's talk about the high rise where the dog was found later that day on the 17th, 12 miles away. They raised concerns. The residents of that building have raised concerns over criminal activity and guns fired at that location. Cops have not said how Heidi is connected to the Hope and Flower complex. And the reviews on Yelp show many disgruntled residents hate the building. Now, that to me doesn't really mean a whole lot. That doesn't hold a whole lot of water with me, because most people don't write reviews on Yelp unless they're going to complain, unless it's something negative, unless they're like, you know what? Call me Karen. I'll show them. And then they write a bad review. Rarely do people go out of their way to write a good review about something unless somebody does something really above and beyond as far as service. And I mean, it's a building. What are they going to? Oh my God, I just love living here. You know what I mean? Like, whoever lives in a building where they're just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing in the world. You know? I mean, what is this? An episode of Friends? No. You know, I mean, that's not realistic. You know what I mean? So I don't really, to me, that doesn't hold a lot of water. So one of the reviews says, do not move here, in all caps. Somebody who lived there for 18 months. Plenty of other buildings in the area to choose from. Rent at your own risk. Jesus, that sounds like impending doom. Another resident posted, do not move here. Just do not move here. And then it says, hold on. Okay, no, it goes on to say there are units that are party houses and bring in all sorts of criminal activity into the building. Guns have been fired and people have been robbed midday. In an exclusive interview with The Sun, her ex Jim revealed how he found messages on Heidi's phone from a stranger who had discovered her dog wandering alone in the high rise. Wow. Okay. So here's another possibility. She went to this high rise. She's having problems with her boyfriend. Maybe her boyfriend was there. Maybe she left distraught to go see him. Maybe he said something like, I'm with a girl, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. And she shows up to this building and something happens to her there, but she just simply forgot her phone. I mean, she could have just forgot her phone. It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible. You know, the one time that she forgets her phone, she goes missing. It's weird. Well, I mean, she had her dog with her. You know what I mean? you're asking why take the dog there. I mean, the way that she had her dog, the dog was just walking on its own in the footage, and she was just talking to the dog, giving it commands. You know what I mean? She probably just she probably just takes the dog with her, to places. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. Okay, so it was actually Jim, the ex-husband, who got the dog from that building. And remember, they're saying that guns have been fired and people have been robbed in midday. So Jim says that he found messages on Heidi's phone from a stranger who had discovered her. How did he have her phone, though? Why did he have her phone? And the dog's name is Seven. I guess they're Seinfeld fans, which I think is kind of cool. So the dog Seven was wandering alone in the high rise. He said he went to pick up the pet from a couple who said they had just found it roaming around on the floor in the hallway. So I guess the dog had a tag with Heidi's cell phone number on it. So Heidi's cell phone number, and then they called her phone or texted her phone or what? That's weird to me. So he says, I first became worried when Heidi didn't show up to pick up our son at school, and I contacted the West LA Police Department immediately. The dog's microchip was an afterthought. I guess it was 3 or 4 days later that I started looking. And it's saying that there's no evidence to suggest that Heidi's new boyfriend was involved in her disappearance, and they have not named him as a suspect or person of interest, so that needs to be noted. And her last known movements are now under police investigation after she was seen on October 17th. This doesn't make sense. So it says here that her laptop and phone were found at her home during a wellness check on October 20th. Okay, so all right, I got it. But why wouldn't the cops? Why would they let Jim have the phone to look at it? Unless they would say, "Hey, is there anything in here that might ring a bell that would make you seem suspicious of anything?" So when they say that the dog has been found the same day, it means that the residents of that high-rise building found the dog wandering around, kept the dog, tried to contact Heidi about the dog, and then once the cops found the phone, then Jim saw it and he went and picked up the dog. I mean, but they've been divorced for 9 years. Why would they even have the same phone plan? How could he possibly do that? That makes no sense. If he downloaded her messages, that doesn't make sense. So yeah, a lot of weird stuff here. What's up, buddy? Okay, that's a possibility too. Maybe their son has a phone under her plan, and he was able to, but why would he still be able to have access to it, to her messages? Unless, like I said, I mean, it would make sense to me that the police would say, hey, is there anything in the phone? Take a look at the phone, and if you see anything that might, throw up a red flag, you let us know. Because how are they going to know what to look for? You know what I mean? I mean, maybe they were cool like that, and he had her on his plan. Yeah, that's a possibility too. Okay, so again, the word rated shows up here. Okay. So on October 29th, and it was the FBI agents raided her home, allegedly leaving with files. They had been expecting to find a crime scene there, according to local reports. Now, let's jump back to the boss man with the $43 million fraud case. Because if there's a $43 million fraud case, guess what? That's most likely a federal crime. And that's why feds would be at her home. And that's why they would raid it. So it's possible if they're using the word raid, right? They're using the word raid and it was the feds that did it. It's quite possible that they suspected her involvement in whatever he was doing. I mean, that makes sense to me. Honestly, that's the only reason that I can think of why federal officers would raid her home. That's what I'm thinking, Nicole Venditti. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And she probably flipped and went to the FBI. They expected a crime scene. If they say that they were expecting a crime scene, right? They were probably expecting somebody went into the house and, for lack of a better term, whacked her. And yeah. And they probably, it's possible that because I mean, we don't know anything about that investigation. It might be that they caught her or found files or something on her computer. They caught her in the act of doing something, and they said, hey, okay, then what we're going to do is you're going to have to testify against your boss. If you want to get out of this, if you don't want to spend years in jail, if you want to get out of this, you're going to have to flip on him. Or he just did it because he, didn't even want to take the risk. I mean, usually in things like this, I don't think Jim is sus, man. I don't think Jim is sus. It sounds like Jim is being totally cooperative, and he's talking to the media, and sharing information that may be helpful in finding her. I think he's doing everything he can do. Dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's it right there, man. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Because I mean, I don't really have a problem. I don't really have a problem speculating on a dude who's being charged with a $43 million fraud case, trying to steal $43 million. I mean, that's a shifty dude. You know what I mean? Yeah, but the text message thing, I'm saying it makes sense to me. The text message thing makes sense to me, that the cops would say, hey, look at the phone and tell us if you see anything. And then once he saw that they had the dog, he went and got the dog. You know what I mean? Once he saw that somebody tried to contact her about the dog, he went and got the dog. I mean, that's not too much of a brain buster. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, dude. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not getting past the fact that this whole time that we're talking, guys, we're talking about the LAPD being on her missing persons case. They didn't say anything about the FBI working her case, trying to find her. But what it implies here is that randomly, unrelatedly from her being missing, that on the 29th, the FBI raided her home and then walked out with files. You see what I'm saying? Like, come on. Why is the FBI raiding her home? For what? If they're not working this missing persons case, why are they, the FBI, not the LAPD, federal officers, raiding her home and expecting to see a crime scene and then leaving with files? When it's the LAPD that's working the case. Everything true crime. Okay, yeah. No problem. I can recap real quick. And if Cherry, you can keep putting these the information on Heidi in the chat like you've been doing, I really appreciate it. And thank you for the super chat, by the way. Yeah, man. So Heidi Planck, young mother, Heidi Planck, she went missing on October 17th. And she was reported missing on the 20th. When she did not, when she failed to pick up her son from her father's visits, or from his father's visits. Sorry. So yeah, so here Cherry is putting up all the information on her. Now, so everything true crime, basically the details that we know regarding her going missing, there was an argument with her ex-boyfriend, or her current boyfriend, I'm sorry. But her ex-husband, her son's father, says that he's met him and he seems like a great guy. And nobody is suspecting him having any involvement, even though they did have an argument. But, you know, couples argue all the time. They don't always get murdered. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean that he did anything. It doesn't even, it barely remotely indicates that he could have had something to do with it. But her boss is currently under a charge of stealing $43 million. So, and you know, that blows my mind. So the speculation right now, the main speculation now, her phone and laptop were found in the home. So the That's always a big red flag. The car's gone, but the phone and laptop are still here. So that's always a big red flag. Now, so a $43 million fraud case is a big deal. That's a really, really, really big deal. And to me, that just, well, the son will absolutely, unless the mom's found, there's no reason why the son wouldn't, unless it turns out that the father was involved somehow, but I don't think so. I mean, he doesn't stand to gain anything except custody of the son. But it doesn't sound like that's something that he would ever want to take. He's not coming off in any way like somebody who would want to take his son's mother away from him. Yeah. So, yeah, everything indicates everything to crime. Everything indicates wait, what? Who claimed that Heidi's monthly income was $30K? $30K a month? So, I mean, who knows how that took place? So if that's true, that's a hell of a lot of money. I don't know what she does. I don't know what that, I mean, they said her job title earlier. I already forgot what it was, but her job title, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That pulls in $30,000 a month. So, okay. So Jim says that. So $30,000 a month, right? I mean, that right there is going to get, unless your taxes are on point, right? The IRS is coming sniffing around your door, baby. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, right? IRS is coming. So, and that's probably what led up to everything. So I'm wondering if that's the case. Again, this is just speculation, people. So IRS or somebody comes sniffing around because they find her income suspicious, and then they look into her income, they audit her, and then they start looking into things, and then they say, hey, we found this and this and this, and we don't think that you're the ringmaster of all this. We don't think you're the one getting the majority of all this money. So you either give us your boss or you're going to jail. And then, since she was more than likely going to cooperate with the FBI, then her boss probably found out about it, because anybody who's got at least $43 million can afford to hire a professional who is well versed in not leaving a trace or any evidence. Yeah, like, what's that bonus then, Island Girl? What's that bonus? What do you mean, what does his son need therapy for, dude? His mom's missing. He's 10. And they're super close. I mean, is she an accountant? So I wonder this. I mean, so is that what she was? Can anybody confirm that? Is that what she was? Was she an accountant for her boss? Is that what she did for him? An accountant? Because if she was an accountant for him, that means that she probably was being charged as an accessory. She had to have seen all the income. She had to have known where all the money was coming from. It was her job to audit the income. Profit and loss, dude. P&Ls. I mean, I had to do P&Ls when I worked for Domino's. You know what I'm saying? Like that's P&Ls. That's so if you're the accountant, you're seeing where every penny is coming from. So I'm wondering if, since she knew where every penny was coming from, if she was saying, "Hey, I found this going on in the books, and so if you if you want, because now I'm involved, since I'm seeing this in the books and I work for you, I mean, you got to cut me in. You know what I mean? I'm at risk now, so you got to cut me in." And he probably didn't like that. That right there is motive, A. And B, if somebody is onto it, then guess what? Once somebody's onto it, then they're going to say, "Hey, we can charge you." The feds can say, "We can charge you, but we don't want you. We want your boss." So if you want to see your son grow up, you're going to have to turn state's evidence. I mean, come on, dude. If she's getting a $15,000 a month bonus, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she's the accountant. If she's the accountant, she has to know all the money that's coming in. She's the one doing the books. If there's money that's unaccounted for, it's her job to go to her boss and go, "Hey, there's a lot of extra money here. What's going on? I think you need to be aware that there's a lot of extra money here." And so he just says, "Hey, don't ask me about that, but here's a monthly bonus for you." And now she's an accessory. Yeah, but she wouldn't leave her son. Come on, man. You ever seen these movies, dude? I'm telling you, she wouldn't leave her son. What she would do, because if she's running because she's afraid of her life, what's going to happen, right? If she's running because she's afraid of her life, then what are they going to do? They're going to grab her kid and say, "Hey, that's exactly what that is, Lindsay. That's exactly what that is. That's all that is." But you also see, like, in these mob movies, when somebody tries to pull that, they're like, they did it in Batman, bro. Like, in these mob movies, man, then they say, "Okay, well, I want this much money," and then they say, pretty much, "You know what? It's cheaper just to kill you. Why would I pay you? You know what I mean? When I can just get rid of you, you know?" Yeah, man. The Dark Knight. This guy was like, "I want $1 million a year for the rest of my life," because he found out Bruce Wayne was Batman. He found all the evidence, the Batmobile, and that Wayne Enterprises was like making the Batmobile and blah blah blah. And he tells that to Lucius Fox. He says to Lucius Fox, he says, "I want $1 million for the rest of my life, a year for the rest of my life." And then Lucius Fox is like, "So you're telling me that this person at night goes out and beats criminals to a pulp, and your your plan is to blackmail them?" You know what I mean? Like, see, and he was just like, "Good luck, knock yourself out." It's basically a threat, you know? Dude, it totally does. It totally does. I can't believe this case isn't getting more attention. I mean, it makes sense that it isn't because, like I said, she went missing on October 17th. Everyone was in an uproar over Gabby Petito, were they not? So, yeah, this is crazy. Like, I hope other creators start talking about this too, man. And the movie. Come on, the movies, dude. And this thing takes place in LA. Every movie like this takes place in LA or New York. Every single one. If there's cocaine involved, it's Miami. Does anybody have access to her Facebook page? You want to send me that? I mean, I'm going to keep talking about this case. I'm not going to stop talking about it tonight. I'm going to keep talking about this. Yeah. And again, this is real crime, people, not true crime. This is real crime. We deal in facts. Don't be dropping no rumors in my chat, people. Verifiable evidence. Understand? Yeah, because movies are awesome. Like Locomai says, movies are awesome. Cherry doesn't know anything. But Cherry knows every Johnny Depp movie by heart. Ask her any question. You guys want to play the let's ask Cherry Johnny Depp trivia game? Anybody? She's amazing. She's amazing. I mean, she's got a little problem with typos, you know? She's got a little problem with typos. Real crime. She means to type real crime. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, I don't even know. I don't know where she was born. I just stumbled onto this case today. And I'm not sure if I can go live tomorrow or the next day. If I do, it'll be late, at least as late as this. I don't know. Maybe I'll do another day stream tomorrow or something. Maybe. There you go, Cherry's real crime for life, yo. At a girl, Cherry. You know, your typos are forgiven. Eric Kennedy. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think that there's anyone significant who lives in that building, but the building matters because why would the dog be found 12 miles away from the home in that building? That's super strange. Dude, what the hell? I can't log in. No, that totally needs to be the password. Why? Okay. Okay, where's the 6-digit code? There we go. Oh my God, this is annoying. Okay, so I mean, I have her Facebook here. Okay, so here's the thing. All right, so started a new job at Camden Capital Partners. Hello, Heidi. Saw you at the U.S. Bank on Tuesday. Love to meet you sometime. I live in the neighborhood. I wanted to tell you that you have got the most gorgeous blonde hair I have ever seen. I grew up with two sisters who were blonde hairdressers, but as I was about to say hello to you, dropped your phone as you left Antoine's area. Congratulations with your new job. Cheers. And then some other dude says, mankind is engaged in an eternal quest for that something else he hopes will bring him happiness. Complete an ending. For those individual souls who have sought and found God, the search is over. He is that something else. And then it's like some link. The life of Yogananda. I mean, both of these both of these comments are weird as hell. What does that have to do with her new job? And dude is like, you got pretty hair. Super weird, dude. Super weird. Yeah. What's the Uganda thing? Do I even want to pull that up? I don't even know if I want to pull that up. Oh, it's a trailer for a movie. This guy's like, you got to see this movie. Oh, look, my wife just showed up, bro. What's up, wifey? Hey, wifey. You got real pretty hair. People are nuts, bro. What's up with the... Okay, I guess this dude hung out with the monkeys. Yogananda? I mean, did the monkeys do everything as a knockoff to the Beatles? Like, I like the monkeys, don't get me wrong, but everything, I mean, so so the Beatles hung out with Ravi Shankar And so the monkeys were like, well, we can't hang out with Ravi Shankar because we're not the Beatles. So who's the next best guy? Yogananda. Let's hang out with him. Let's do it. Weird, bro. But why the hell this guy thought that she'd be interested in that? I don't know. You got pretty hair. My sister had pretty hair. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't have any idea. I mean, like we say in Real Crime, Occam's razor, right? Simplest answer is usually the correct one. Come on. $43 million fraud case. She was his accountant. You know what I'm saying? That's $43 million fraud case against her boss. She's his accountant. I mean, it's kind of, you know, and then the FBI, who's not investigating her case as far as her going missing, raids her house, like, I mean, a couple weeks later, expecting to see a crime scene, and leaves with files. Oh, I didn't even look. Man, now I got to do that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get a gander at this, bro. Get a gander at this. Let's check out Stefan over here. And all of his friends, look at this. All of his friends are young girls. All of them. This is okay. Hold on. We're going to check this dude out. Sorry, dude, but you're a creep. You should have privatized your stuff. We're gonna check this dude out real quick because this guy is just full of red flags, bro. Full of them. Okay, let's check it. No, man, I want to see her. Why can't I find? No, dude. I don't want to search groups. There we go. There we go. Hold on. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Hold on. You got to see this dude. You got to see this dude. All right. Dude. First of all, his name is Stefan, bro. That's a red flag in itself. All right, let's look at his friends. Let's look at his friends. Look at. I see one dude so far. All the other girls look like Instagram models. They're significantly younger than him. Mary Scott works at YouTube. Okay. Mariah Dolly Johnson. Dude. Yeah, like all of these girls look like Instagram models. All of them. Like, look at this. Look at this. Come on, dude. Come on, bro. Come on, dude. Dude's a creep. Let's check out Joanna here. Her profile's not even in English, dude. Breteden se min website and Jimmy Ben se mine videos, photos, and live webcam. Ooh. Wait. Hold on. Let's look at her friends. Look at her friends. Let's check out Wilfredi Liebel. Yeah. Dude is looking good. Wilfredi Liebel. Okay. It's not a question of judging, though, Lokamai, and thank you for sending me the link. It's not a question of judging. It's the fact that on her job page, where people post like, "I got a new job working at this place," which I think is crazy. I would never do that. Got this new job working at this place, and then some dude types a comment talking about, "I saw you in person, saw you drop your phone, and I just wanted to tell you how pretty your hair is. Your pretty blonde hair. My sister had pretty blonde hair, was a hairdresser." Like, I'm gonna read it one more time. Hold on, I gotta get out of Wilfried Liedl. I gotta get out of his Yeah, these are all, and all of this guy's friends on his friends list are Instagram models, right? Are webcam girls. So this guy goes searching on Facebook for webcam girls. Like, if you're looking for webcam girls, why are you doing it on your Facebook, bro? That's weird. That's super weird. All right. So where is this? Okay, so let me read his comment one more time. "Hello, Heidi. I saw you at the U.S. Bank on Tuesday. Love to meet you sometime. I live in the neighborhood. I wanted to tell you that you have got the most gorgeous blonde hair I've ever seen. I grew up with two sisters who were blonde hairdressers. But as I was about to say hello to you, you dropped your phone as you left Antoine's area. Congratulations to your new job, though. Cheers." What? I mean, he's over here blasting. First of all, says he lives near her, right? This guy's a webcam addict, and it's safe to say that dude's a webcam addict. Come on, like, dude, it's pretty safe to assume that, is it not? based on what we just saw? Am I crazy? Am I crazy? Like, it's pretty safe to assume that. And he's saying that he lives near her. He lives in the neighborhood, quote unquote. I mean, and then like blasting out like where he saw her. I mean, they probably met at some point. You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know. But I mean, she's real pretty. Maybe she's done, I don't know, but it's possible. Like people do, people with regular jobs and careers, they do webcam work, it's there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shaming anybody for sex work. In my opinion, sex work is work. Do it to it. If you got the goods, sell it. No problem. No judging you for that at all. What I'm saying is the dude's on the other end of that and can't seem to get enough. He's got the bug. You know what I mean? He's got the bug. So, Paddywhack, no, thanks. Thank you. I mean, yeah, he's got the bug. You know what I mean? He's obviously got it bad because he didn't even realize how inappropriate everything about that was. Everything about that was inappropriate. The venue, I mean, the social media platform in the first place. Second, the post was completely irrelevant to anything. I mean, yeah, he sounds like a stalker. I'm not saying he is, but he sure as hell sounds like the FBI or the LAPD better be looking at this dude. They need to be looking at that dude. Absolutely 100%. Do you imagine, like, if it's a movie, right? They got him with the big light, under the big light, and he's sweating, right? And they bring the pictures, and they do like this. They don't even say nothing. They just put a picture of Heidi in front of him. And wait, just to see if he goes, oh, look at her hair. I mean, that's how I see that happening. That's how I see that happening. But you know what usually happens in movies, though? That's usually the first guy they look at, and then and they clear him because he's just a weirdo. He's most of the time in the movies, they're just a weirdo. It's always the guy you least expect. Do you remember Fourth Alien, the one with Andrew Dice Clay, where the Josie and the Pussycats hired him to find their stalker? He just shows them a picture, and he's like, "Oh, Josie, deceitful bitches!" Arr! And he was pretty harmless, It's just a private detective, Mr. Rock and Roll Detective. That's one of my favorite movies, by the way. Super underrated. I mean, yeah, but that's totally an episode of Law and Order SVU. Yeah, it's every episode of Law and Order SVU, Lindsay. Every time. Stabler's like, huh? You leaving You're leaving social media posts. Talking about you, sir. You've been hanging around the U.S. Bank lately? Huh? You stalk all your girls there? Huh? Creep? Weirdo? And then and then Benson's got to be like, Elliot, chill. Elliot, calm down. No, this guy's a creep. I'm going to show him what we do to creeps. That's totally what Stabler would have done. The Stabler-Benson dynamic is how that went down. Archie Comics? The hell are you talking about? Oh, yeah. Josie and the Pussycats. Yeah. Archie Comics. Yeah, we're going to continue talking about this, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. I know it's late. And Mods, killing it. I didn't even tell you guys that I was even looking into this. And as soon as I shared this with you guys jumped on it and started doing your homework on it. So I really, really, really appreciate all your help. And I love everybody. And we will do this again very, very soon, my friends.